Now at 10, the city of Nevada considers a tax increase for a new aquatic center. Plus, candidates for sheriff in Vernon County turn out for a meet and greet with the public. And the community comes together to provide resources and opportunities to the homeless.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Nevada, Missouri is asking voters to decide a half-cent sales tax. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. The vote is set for the upcoming primary on August 6th. Revenue from the sales tax would generate approximately $1 million per year. It would be a permanent change and would fund a new aquatic center for the town, as well as increase the starting salaries for the town's police and fire departments. The city says their emergency responders are significantly underpaid compared to other cities in the area.
I was a policeman in my younger days, and my starting salary back in 1973 was the same as the salary starting here. And so, I mean, that's a big disparity. Now, granted, I was at a bigger police department, but still, the fact that we're known best for training police officers to go to other cities, it's critical that we keep a stable police force, and we have an excellent police department, and they deserve whatever that we can get them.
If passed, the sales tax would go into effect January 1st, 2025. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, of course, it was a hot one outside for us today, but right where we should be for this time of the year. Our temperatures up to about 91 earlier today, average high 91 degrees, record 104 set back in 2012. We can go outside, 79 in Joplin, 76 in Pittsburgh, and most of us across the board, upper 70s to lower 80s at this point in time. We had a couple little isolated little showers pop up earlier. Those are gone, and it looks like we're going to be pretty quiet as we go through the overnight hours. 77 by 11, 71 by 7 a.m. I think our overnight low down to about 69. And then rebounding back to 82 by 10 a.m. Now, we do have chances for a few more thunderstorms in the forecast, and our temperatures kind of up and down. So we're going to be talking about that all coming up here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, the Vernon County Clerk's Office held a forum for sheriff candidates to answer questions. The city held the forum in the Franklin P. Norman Community Center. The 3 candidates answered questions about mental health, community safety, and crime management, and explained their platform to the attendees.
Getting the deputies out there, getting with the citizens, you know, it's a mutual effort. There's some crimes, you know, a deputy's going to drive up on, but for most of the things that we encounter, it's going to be relayed to us by citizens, and we have to have a good relationship with the citizens to have the interaction and to help develop a way to solve the problems.
Well, the primaries for this race will also take place on August 6th. Well, Pittsburgh residents today voiced their thoughts on the city's plans for a neighborhood map. The city's Neighborhood Advisory Council hosted an open house at Memorial Auditorium where residents could drop by, learn about the plans for the map and cleanup opportunities, and give their input. The proposed map is designed to increase local pride and foster growth in the community.
Create that sense of shared ownership and community pride within our neighborhoods, but it's also going to ultimately help us with neighborhood improvement efforts, help us coordinate neighbors to start working together toward that focus, and then start working on events.
I think what's cool about today is that we as neighbors can actually help our neighborhoods out. We might have neighbors that can't do that kind of stuff themselves, and we can learn about those people and we can help them out. We can go knock on their door and say, "Hi, I'm your neighbor and I'd love to help you out with this." So things like that are coming out of today.
Well, the Advisory Council is planning a cleanup event in the northeast quadrant of the city this fall. The Economic Security Corporation in Joplin is connecting homeless people with helpful resources. The Project Homeless Connect event offers people a chance to get some food, get a haircut, and learn about job and health resources. Officials say the turnout was one of the largest they've ever seen, which serves as a reminder of the significant need in the community.
The resources are still pretty much the same. I think there are more, how do I put this, more of the resources are expanding what they do, which is helpful. But I mean, the homeless numbers are growing, and they're growing everywhere. They're growing in Joplin.
The Supreme Court of the Missouri granted the state's Attorney General's request to stay Christopher Dunn's release from prison on Wednesday. It comes after a judge told a Missouri prison warden to release Dunn from custody or face consequences. But the 52-year-old man remains behind bars. Robert Townsend has the latest.
Just minutes after a St. Louis judge ordered Christopher Dunn to be released from a Missouri prison after spending 34 years behind bars, Dunn's wife was ecstatic.
We couldn't be more happy and amazed and thankful.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you see him?
Cry and just put my face in his shirt.
Christopher Dunn was just 18 when he was convicted of killing a 15-year-old in North St. Louis in 1990. Dunn has always said he was innocent. Monday, a judge overturned his conviction. Wednesday afternoon, an emergency meeting was held after Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey filed a motion to keep Dunn behind bars. Judge Jason Sangheiser then ordered Dunn to be released from a prison in Licking, Missouri.
I was hoping there was going to be an end to this obstructionism that we've been seeing, and that the judge was going to say, listen, this is my order.
But about 3 hours later, Dunn and his family's hopes dashed after the Missouri Supreme Court sided with the state attorney general and blocked Dunn's release. Bailey's office said it requested an emergency stay because it was only given 1 hour's notice before Monday's hearing when Judge Sangheiser overturned Dunn's murder conviction. In a statement, Kira Dunn said, quote, "It is torture. It is pointless. It is a perversion of what justice should be in Missouri." Professor Kenya Brumfield Young teaches criminology at St. Louis University. She's been following the Dunn case from the beginning.
There's the feeling of estrangement. There's birthdays they miss. There's, passing of loved ones that they've missed. And they literally see life go by them.
According to a Department of Corrections spokesman, Dunn will remain in prison until at least Monday. His legal team said, quote, "An innocent person remains behind bars, and they will pursue every avenue to secure Dunn's freedom." Well, coming up, Joplin police respond to a crash that launches an SUV across Main Street. And the Better Business Bureau in Joplin has some advice for parents getting ready to purchase back-to-school supplies.
This weekend, beat the clock for huge.
With President Biden officially out of the race, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are turning up the campaign heat against each other. Skylar Henry is in Washington with more on Campaign 2024.
I am running to become President of the United States of America.
After speaking to one of the nation's largest teachers' unions, Vice President Kamala Harris said she's ready to take on former President Donald Trump.
I think the voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage, and so I'm ready. Let's go.
Trump has said he would prefer to shift a debate previously set for September 10th on ABC to Fox, but indicated he would be willing to face off with Harris more than once. As next month's Democratic National Convention in Chicago fast approaches, Vice President Harris is pondering her choice for a running mate.
The only way that I would consider accepting anything else is if I believe that I can help this state and this country more in a different way.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear is believed to be among the key contenders. Voters in the state reflected on the importance of the November election.
Let your voice be heard, because, vote is important. I know a lot of people are like, oh, my vote don't count. Every vote counts, I promise you.
Former President Donald Trump, meanwhile, railed against Harris in a TV interview.
She's the most radical person probably that we've had in office, let alone the office of the presidency.
There are some people who think we should be a country of chaos, of fear, of hate. But us, we choose something different.
While the Harris for President campaign released its first official video Thursday featuring Beyonce's song Freedom. In it, Harris says freedom is what is at stake in this election. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
CBS News has learned former President Barack Obama is planning on backing Vice President Harris, quote, soon. And that's according to a source who also says Obama has been in regular touch with Harris and believes the vice president is off to an impressive start. Well, a crash in Barton County claims the life of a Rogersville, Missouri woman. 30-year-old Auburn Dudley was traveling south on State Route T when she failed to stop at the intersection of Missouri 126. Her car then traveled under a tractor trailer heading east. The driver of the semi, Patrick Wright of Houston, Texas, was not injured. Missouri State Highway Patrol major crash team was called in to help with the investigation. Earlier today, authorities responded to reports of an SUV crash at I-44 and Main Street in Joplin. Now, when authorities arrived, they found a Jeep Grand Wagoner crashed into the trees. JPD said the SUV was westbound on I-44 when it took the off-ramp to South Main at a high speed. The SUV left the ramp and jumped both northbound lanes of Main Street, landed, and then ramped off the southbound lanes into the trees. Authorities measured the distance at about 575 feet. First responders transported the male driver to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, parents have a list of things to worry about before school season starts, and one of those things is spending too much money on school supplies. The Better Business Bureau wants to make sure parents get the most out of their money this year before they open their wallets online or in a brick-and-mortar store. Now, their advice for your budget: grab those big ticket items like a computer first.
Well, prioritize. So if you know you're going to need, say, a new computer, but also notebooks, all that kind of like easier stuff, smaller stuff, go for the big ticket items first, just in case they sell out. You don't want to miss that opportunity. So snag that laptop, whatever kind of, maybe a new cell phone, whatever you might need, do that first. Prioritize those big ticket items.
They also advise if a place says it's hosting a back-to-school sale, not everything may be included in that sale. A little later, friends and families head out to the Allen County Fair in Iola, Kansas.
Plus, we're going to really heat up, especially as we go into next week. Also, a few chances for rain. We're going to look at that coming up.
Press joins
Well, it definitely turned out to be a hot one for us today. Temperatures across the region into lower 90s, but right where we should be as we are entering the last week of July already. Almost 7 months of 2024 already gone. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Let's catch up on our rain stats. We had a few isolated thunderstorms earlier today, but most of you dry. 5.1 inches for the month, which is pretty good. We'll definitely take that. But on Thursdays, our new drought tracker comes out. It's a little bit drier. Newton County over into Berry County, our western counties a little bit drier. So we need to get some rain in here. We just don't have a lot of chances as we go through about the next week or so. Temperatures upper 70s to lower 80s across the region. Going outside, here's 7th and range line currently sitting at 79. East, southeasterly winds at about 5 miles per hour. Humidity, it's up there. Dew points, upper 60s to near 70 degrees. So if we look at our scale, we're looking at sticky to kind of muggy across the region, and we're going to continue to see that as well. Let's go outside. We had a few isolated little thunderstorms, mainly on northern counties, or at least along north of I-44. These are all gone, so right now we're just seeing ground clutter from our radar, and we look pretty good as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. A little upper level wave down across parts of eastern Texas, which will start to affect us a little bit late tomorrow and then into Saturday with some chances for a few showers and thunderstorms. All right, starting tomorrow, 68 to 70 as we go through the morning hours. Let's say mid to upper 80s by noon. Most of us will top out 90 or 91. But again, a few isolated little pop-up thunderstorms as we get into the afternoon. Anything that would pop up, mainly gone by about 10 p.m. And then tomorrow night into Saturday morning, it looks like we'll drop back near 70 again. As we go through the day on Saturday, hit and miss scattered thunderstorms. A little bit more numerous, but still not widespread. Late Saturday, Saturday evening, and then also into Sunday morning. So at least we got some rain chances. It's just not going to be widespread. 71 start, 86 by noon, high temp 91 with a few isolated storms. Let's go through the weekends. Let's move into Sunday. Any rain chances Saturday? Out of here, back into the mid-90s. Working into next week, here comes the heat. So here's Monday, triple-digit heat, western counties, upper 90s, southwestern Missouri. May get a few showers in here Monday night into Tuesday morning. And then as we go through Tuesday, look at our temps, triple digits across the region. We stick into the triple digits, or at least lower triple digits Wednesday. And then on 91 tomorrow, 86 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday. And then we start to accelerate upwards to right around 100 second half of next week.
Okay, well, we got to get used to it. August is here, and
yeah,
August
it's still
is hot,
hot
notoriously. So we'll be ready.
All righty.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, a former NEO basketball player is headed to the Olympics, and the Joplin Outlaws try to win their 6th consecutive game. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
On day one.
Two different Little League baseball teams will represent the 4 states at the Midwest Region Tournament next week. Riverton won the Kansas State Championship, and the Webb City 12U All-Stars are the state champions from Missouri. Webb City entered the final inning of the state title game down by 4 runs, but scored 6 unanswered to keep its season alive and punch its ticket to Indiana. That gives the Webb City All-Stars a matchup with the state champions from Nebraska in the first round of regionals. That game scheduled for 10 a.m. August 2nd. It'll be televised on ESPN+. If Webb City wins the regional, they would advance to the Little League World Series in Williamsport later this summer. College football season getting closer and closer every day. At the JUCO level, NEO entering its 5th year under the direction of head coach Zach Crissup, hoping for a big turnaround from its winless campaign in 2023. Golden Norsemen released their 2024 schedule this week. The season starts off with a road game at Butler. Then NEO's home opener comes against another local team, Independence Community College, who won last year's game 44-0. The Norse play a total of 4 road games and 5 home games, ending the season against Kilgore on November 9th. More NEO news. Former Lady Norse women's basketball player Bethy Manunga will compete for Team Belgium in the Olympics. The Golden Norse Athletic Department announces today. Manunga was a 2-time All-American at NEO from 2017 to 2019. She holds the program records for career rebounds and double-doubles. Members of the Carthage Masonic Lodge present a check today of over $10,000, which will be used towards the construction of the baseball complex at Carthage High School. Now, this is the result of fundraising for several months.
We had an ongoing event. It was kind of a just soliciting our membership as well as members of the community. Started that in about January and concluded that in May. And so we were very proud to be able to present that check today.
The baseball field is 100% donation. That's how we're being able to build it. And so checks like this go a long way in helping the total project come together.
July started out very slow for the Joplin Outlaws. They posted a 2-9 record in their first 11 games of the month. Joplin has recovered, though, and won 9 of its last 10, holds a 5-game winning streak, entering another home contest tonight. Outlaws against the Fort Smith Marshals. Joplin trying to finish off a 3-game sweep. Pitt State's Lucas Van Landwick gets the start on the mound. He gets a couple swinging strikeouts to escape a bases-loaded jam in the second. That keeps it scoreless. Next half inning, C.J. Sapicki grounds one over towards first. He's going to reach base on that fielding error. That puts runners on the corners. But one pitch later, Sapicki gets thrown out trying to do the delayed steal of second. Back to Van Landwick on the mound, top of the 5th. This weakly hit ground ball right back up the middle. That's good for the first Fort Smith hit of the night in the 5th inning. Takes that long, but it doesn't faze the Carl Junction native. Van Landuit gets another strikeout. He earns the win in this one after throwing 8 innings, allowing just 3 hits and 1 earned run. Final score 4-2. That's what you got to love about baseball. You can go from losing 9 out of 10 to then winning 10 out of the next 11 if you just stay in it.
It's crazy how you just turn around. And I know they've changed a lot of players and stuff, and they're growing as a team as well.
Of course, yeah.
All right, thanks, John. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
For Honda during the Honda Summer Event. Our lot is
Fair season in southeast Kansas rolls on. Visitors can head out to the Allen County Fair in Iola, Kansas to take in a rodeo, live music, games, and craft fairs. Now, this free event also showcases local businesses. One exhibitor says she comes from a long line of fairgoers.
It's been in my family for, as long as I've known. My mom did it and all of her siblings. So we just kind of grew up going around it, and so kind of tradition, so I wanted to get into it.
And this marks the 131st edition of the Allen County Fair, and it actually had some pretty decent weather this week for fair.
Yeah, temperatures, especially at the beginning of the week, were really nice, and now we've heated up a little bit, but still not too bad over the next 3 days. Some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms tomorrow into Saturday, and then the real heat returns next week.
That's when we have the Crawford County.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, final sports note.
The Summer Olympics officially get started tomorrow, and this weekend the opening ceremonies are tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night and an even better Friday.
captioning on